You know without you I'm so lonely. When you're not here, 911 calling. Into your heat again, I'm diving. Darling you, baby.
Hi, we're three K-pop darlings, just chatting K-pop. I'm Mama J
And Miss C.
and no Baby K.
And she's still acting.
Yes. That didn't sound good. She's still acting. But yes, she's still off doing her little adventure.
We approve of acting.
We do.
We're even going over a group because of the actors.
Yeah, in full disclosure, today we're doing a group that I wouldn't say I'm a fan of the group as a whole, rather than I'm a fan of the individual members of the group.
Yes. Yes.
Because they do amazing things
As individuals.
as individuals. Maybe not so much as a group.
They've had a few good things as a group.
Yeah.
And I mean, the reason that they get to be doing all these things is because they got their name out there in that group. So,
yeah. So today we're doing 2 p.m.
2 p.m.
Okay, so rundown of 2 p.m. So 2 p.m. is a 6-member group under JYP.
Yes.
They debuted in September of 2008 with a song called 10 out of 10. And they were known for their acrobatics.
Yes.
They were formed through, guess what? A survival show.
What?
Yeah, so their survival show was called Hot Blood Men. And in the show, they actually created an 11-member group called One Day.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, Day One. Day One. And after that, then they split the group into two.
Okay.
2 a.m. and 2 p.m. And 2 a.m. was kind of an individual 4-member group, and I'll talk about them in just a second because I just thought it was so interesting that they did this split. And then there were 7 that went into 2 p.m. And on this side note with 2 a.m., so there were 4 members that joined this group, and for a while, until about 2015, they were co-managed by Big Hit. I know, it's so weird.
Wow.
Then in 2015, between 2015 and 2017, they all left JYP to go and be with other agencies, but they still are 2 a.m. in the fact that all of their contracts with JYP had a clause that allowed them to continue to perform together outside of their contract for 2 a.m.
That makes me happy,
Right?
but it's also interesting.
Weird.
I know why 2 p.m. is called 2 p.m.
I don't know why 2 a.m. is called 2 a.m.
So 2 a.m., there could be lots of things. I mean, the debut show, or the survival show, was called Hot Blood Men. So, I guess, but I will say I love the reason of 2 p.m.
Yes. So anyway, anyway, back to 2 p.m. So originally 2 p.m. was a 7-member group, but in 2019, one of the members left the group due to controversies that stemmed from a past thing that happened on their social media. And I actually will talk about him and what happened and all that, but give me a minute. So the fandom name is called Hottest because 2 p.m. is the hottest part of the day.
Which is why they are all so very, very attractive.
Yes. Hot. Yeah, we can say that with case on here.
Yes, this is why we're talking about 2 p.m. when Baby Kate isn't here.
And they were known for their acrobatics. This is what they were known for when they debuted. And we'll talk a little bit about that after we talk about the members. We're going to specifically talk about them as a group and what their debut was like, and we're going to do a little something weird. So stay tuned for weird.
Yeah.
They all stood together. They had regular comebacks until 2017, and then between 2017 and 2021, they all went through the military.
Okay.
And then in June of 2021, they had a comeback. They haven't done anything since then. They did do a fan concert. It was
Fan meet
it wasn't really
type thing?
yeah. So I'm only familiar with the stuff that Stray Kids does and ADs and stuff. But it was kind of like a concert. They sang and they danced, but they didn't do all the weird, funny.
Yeah, so it depends on the group. A lot of them will still do like a fan meet, but most groups tend to like to do some of the funny things. Some of them just talk and sing, and that's it.
So, and they are all very busy men. And I'm saying men because when I tell you their ages, you're going to be like, woohoo! They really are busy. They have lots of individual projects. They've always had individual projects from day one. They have all done something individual. But before we begin into all the members, I want to talk about the one that left. His name was J-Bone, and he was their leader. He was their lead vocalist, and their lead dancer, and their rapper. And he was born in Seattle. He was from America. And he was living in Korea, was discovered in Korea, was part of JYP. And then in 2009, it became, the people became aware that he had written on his MySpace page, that tells you how old this is, his MySpace page criticizing remarks about Korea, Korean culture, and the country in general. And so in the end of 2029, he left Korea, moved back to
2009?
2009. Yeah, in 2008, and moved back to the States. He actually returned to Korea probably in the last 5-6 years, and he is signed under an agency as a solo artist, and he goes by the name J Park.
Yep. That makes so much sense about everything now.
So
I don't mind J Park, personally. I know others, it's not their favorite, but he's weird and entertaining.
He's a very different soul. Anyway.
That's an understatement.
So, we're going to start with the members. And we're going to start, I'm just going to go, oldest leader thing, normal search. So, Jun K, known Kim Min Jun, he was born January 15th, 1988.
Yeah! Godmother Upa.
So I know this isn't something I normally do, but I've been recently diving into some different religions, but the one that I'm currently working on is Buddhism, and he's Buddhist.
Oh, that's
so
cool.
I really love that. I love that he's Buddhist because I'm enjoying lovingly enjoying the idea of learning about Buddhism.
Yes.
He's South Korean. He has a mother and a father, and his father passed away when he was young, but he has a younger brother.
Okay.
He has both a bachelor's degree in media arts and a master's degree in media information.
Dang! Go you! Like, dang!
I'm like, you go, boy. I like it. So when he was born, he was Kim Junsu. And then in 2012, he officially changed his name. And that to Kim Min Jun. And there was some family reasons for that. I don't know what they are, but he officially changed his name, which I thought was also interesting. You don't normally hear of Korean people changing their name.
No, but I like that it was for family reasons. Like, it not just, I don't want to be that anymore.
Yeah.
It
was a family thing.
A family thing, and
yeah,
I think that's great.
So he was accepted into YG and JYP at the same time, and he chose JYP. Not sure why, but he chose JYP.
I do feel like it was a better choice. I'm gonna get a lot of flack for that comment, but
he actually is very prolific in writing. He writes a lot of their songs and their lyrics. He actually won quite several awards for poetry and writing. even before he debuted. And he's a big troublemaker. He broke quite a few of the JYP rules. So there you go.
Good.
I'm pretty sure he was in that group of boys who broke the rules all the time. Bang Chen was one of them, and the guy from Day6 is probably in on that.
Yeah. And if you're wondering what the rules are, it's nothing illegal.
No, but
it was
sneaking food to girls,
sneaking food to the girls who are on diets, probably dating, and like a few other things like that, like things that are against the company rules, but not illegal. Just putting that out there.
Yeah. So he actually suffered a broken elbow and a finger when he fell off the stage in the middle of a 2 p.m. concert.
Oh my gosh, I've seen that video.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
So
I was like, I saw him go, and I was like, what just happened?
Fell off the stage. So I also like this boy because he is a thespian, like me.
Yes.
So he played D'Artagnan in The Three Musketeers, and he played Daniel in the musical Jack the Ripper. So yeah, both good roles.
Yes, very good roles.
He did he released his first solo album. It was a Japanese album in 2014. It was called Love and Hate, and the concert that went on in Japan went on to be one of the top 10 concerts of Japan. And he is the only K-pop idol that had that ranking.
Dang.
Only him. So, yeah. He then went on to release 2 more J-pop albums before releasing a solo album for Korea.
Sounds about right.
J-pop, K-pop, whatever, right? He was the first member to compose tracks for 2 p.m. And he composed the tracks for Go Crazy. He also composed the tracks for My House. After J.Y. Park, he is the next most person in JYP to have composure credits.
Ooh.
Which I'm not how accurate that is currently. I mean, this was maybe a year ago, because I also know that Three Racha and Bangchan also have a ton of writing composer credits.
Yeah, they're getting up there on the composer and everything.
The last thing I wanted to say about him, and then we can talk about how cute he is. While he was serving in the military, and I thought this was really interesting that they purposely put this out there about him, was that he became a commander of his division, and and then he had a special warfare command award. So he won an award for being a leader in the military.
That's cool.
I know. It's like, you go, boy.
Yeah.
And now we're gonna just say he's super cute.
Yes. Yes.
And anyway.
Next member
is Nikyung. And he is Thai American, and his full name is weird, Nikyung Bok Hongji. I can't say it because it is Thai.
Yep.
And he has, we're going to talk about his nationality because it's really kind of a little bit crazy, but he was born June 24th, 1988.
Okay.
And he was born in Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Rancho Cuco, yeah.
So his dad is Thai and Chinese because his mom was Chinese and his dad was Thai, but he was also Chinese. It's weird.
Okay, yeah.
And then his mom is Chinese. So he's Chinese by genetics.
Yeah.
But he's American by birth and lived in Thailand. So when he was young, when he was 5, they moved to Thailand. And he has a pretty big family, actually. He has an older brother and 2 younger sisters. So for an Asian family, that's pretty big.
Oh, yeah.
So his mother gave him the nickname Nick Chukun. Anyway, Nukchakun. It means the person who has virtue, or having virtue in your heart will make the darkness go away and you will succeed.
Which is pretty cool. Makes more sense that his mom, who is Chinese, gave it to him.
Yes.
Instead of the Thai dad, because the Thai nicknames are always, most of the time, short, sweet.
Yes. Like I said, he moved when he was 5 to Thailand. And then from there, he moved to New Zealand when he was 12 to attend a private school. And then he moved back to California. And it was in California that he was scouted by JYP and picked up and moved to Korea.
International man.
He was found at a music festival. And that, just FYI, same thing happened to Shua in 17. He debuted as a vocalist and a rapper. So when they debuted, he was a vocalist and a rapper, and he was their visual.
Makes sense.
He's so cute. And he plays the piano and the guitar. He's an avid actor. He's acted in not just K-dramas, but Chinese and Thai as well. He's been in a web series and on tons of variety shows. He speaks Korean, Chinese, Thai, and a little bit of English. He's a well-rounded, crazy guy.
Yes.
All right, our next member is so cute.
He's my favorite.
He is adorable. Love this boy. Okay, it's Taeseung.
Taeseung.
So he's now I don't help me say this, but it's okay, and that's how you spell it. Is it okay? It's okay. Taeseung.
Yes, as far as I'm aware.
Anyway,
I'm not Korean, but I'm gonna go with it because I'd be okay with Taeseung.
Oh, cringe. And he was born in December of 88. He is also from Busan. Lots of our cute boys are from Busan. He has an older sister. And he speaks English, Japanese, and Korean. He can also sort of speak that Busan language.
So Busan is just a dialect.
Yeah.
So it's just
It's
Korean,
still
but with
it's different.
Yeah, it has like a slight. I can't remember what it's called, but yeah, it's just like an accent.
So in 1998, he and his family moved to Bedford in Massachusetts. And he stayed there for 7 years.
Yep.
And was kind of a American kiddo. He also has a degree. He has a business administration degree, which I think is so interesting because the other ones kind of picked an art degree, and he didn't.
He was like, "Nah,
So
I need something to do after this."
But he is a very well-rounded person. In school, he was part of the chess club, the jazz band, the AV club, the soccer team, the JV soccer team, and he was on the National Honor Society.
So he was an all-American that was all Korean.
Yes, an all-American Korean boy. So he went to audition for JYP, not because he wanted to, but because his sister wanted him to, and she persuaded him to do it. And so he did. And
I remember the story.
he did this in New York, and he was 17, and he wanted to be a model.
It's the only thing he knew how to do.
He didn't know how to sing or dance, so he thought, I'm just going to go and model. And he actually tells this story.
Yeah.
I want to say he tells it to Eric Nom.
Yeah, it's on the Eric Nom's show. If you haven't seen it, it is hilarious. Please go watch it. We'll link it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's my favorite taste. Like, that's where I was like, okay, yep, this one's my bias.
So he is he's a rapper, main rapper, sub vocalist, and second visual. And have you seen him? He could be a model. He's gorgeous.
He's modeled.
He has, right?
And he's acted.
And yes, so he does have an acting career. He's in some really great dramas, and I don't have them.
So
let's see.
many.
There's so many.
Oh my gosh, which one?
Cinderella's Sister, Dream High. I haven't seen that one, but I know it.
Vincenzo.
Vincenzo.
Secret Royal Inspector and Joy. Yes. There's
so good.
many.
And I love that girl.
Oh, I know.
She's so
right
good.
now I'm watching him in Heartbeat. It is hilarious.
He's fantastic.
If you want to watch a funny thing that's about a vampire, but not typical scary vampire, please watch it. It's great. He's not a typical vampire.
So he's one of the ones that didn't renew the contract, along with Junho, but still are part of 2PM. He had back surgery in 2010, which I think is interesting, and he requested to receive the back surgery, and that he would go, and he would. I guess somehow this worked out so he didn't have to serve in the military. Somehow he had to do something with his American citizenship or something like that. I don't know why he had American citizenship. But anyway,
he lived there.
He lived there, but
for an extended amount of time.
But all of that made it so that somehow it didn't. He's like us Scoops, I guess.
Sort of. So with what happened with him being as he is. Because usually if you have spent most of your formative years someplace else, you can claim that as your nationality instead of Korean or something along those lines. So I think it was a portion of that, and with his back surgery, there's only so much that they could do, and with his nationality being part American, they were just like,
yeah,
which is just fine with me.
He has a very large scar on his arm because he was dumb and he wrestled with Junho and lost and broke his arm.
That proves that 2PM, though they were very handsome, are still boys.
Boys. They were rough and tumble. And yeah, so he also is a composer too. He's composed several of the tracks.
No, he served in the military. Discharged.
Oh.
So that means that he probably did desk duty.
Yeah.
More like Suga from... Sorry for any miscommunication.
BTS. Suga's from BTS.
But yeah, Suga is from BTS. Yoongi.
Just saying.
Min Yoongi.
Anyway, so he did all of that. He composer of 2PM's title track Promise, and so he also has composing credits. These boys are all writers, and this is why I'm going to say this now, right? This is why we like them.
Yes.
So the next member is Ooyoung. Isn't that how you say it?
Yes,
Ooyoung.
And yes, he has this almost the same name as our lovely 80s Ooyoung.
Yes. So he's Jang Ooyoung, April 30th, 1989, sorry. 89.
I'm like, he's older than me.
Yeah, 89. He was born in Busan, which I love. I love that there are lots of boys from Busan. His position in 2PM is that he is their dancer and a lead vocalist. He has, he's kind of sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
So when they watch sad or scary movies, the other members buy him ice cream beforehand so that they have it on hand.
I love this. This is how you properly treat those who don't enjoy those movies.
Yes. His role models are Michael Jackson and Usher, which is not unusual. I hear this a lot in K-pop.
Yes.
And why not? MJ is the be all of end all to be all, right?
And Usher is
amazing, like that boy.
Yes.
So he can't sing without moving his hands.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
When he gets angry, his face and his manners change. He goes from me. He's like, okay, so he's like so his main person in his brain for Inside Out is anger.
Yes.
Anyway, he actually became a JYP trainee by winning an audition thing. Like, he had an audition competition, and he won against 5,000 other auditionees, and he came in first. And so he got to be a JYP trainee.
That's like Suman from Stray Kids.
Yeah.
Got second, but
Yeah.
still, like, those competitions are no joke.
And initially, his dad didn't want him to do anything with music, but after he made 2PM and debuted, he changed his mind, like lots of parents, and was very, very supportive. Now, during 2PM's tour, Asia tour of Hands Up, Junho, which is another member of 2PM, and Wooyoung performed a song together that Junho had written. But Wooyoung made all of their costumes and their choreography and all the design. So everything else in the performance was Wooyoung's except for the song itself. So I thought that was really cute. He also had a solo debut. He actually was the first of all of the members of 2PM to actually have a solo debut.
Yeah.
His was in 2012, in July of 2012. He actually went to university for broadcasting, which I thought was interesting. He, along with Taehyun, have a modeling career on the side. Notice how gorgeous some of these boys are and why they have a modeling career.
And why they're called 2PM.
They're the hottest.
Because they are the hottest.
So and then he has a cosmetics deal.
Okay. Most idols, especially those who model, have one.
Yeah. So that brings us to our next member, who is my bias.
Yeah.
And in full disclosure, I loved this boy before I knew who 2PM was. Sorry.
Same with my bias.
Yes.
Crew.
And that's why I got into 2PM was because of this member. Because I thought, if I love this boy here, if he can sing and dance, I'm gonna love him more.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Junho.
Yes.
Lee Junho. And she's January 25th, 1990.
Aww.
He's from Seoul. He has an older sister, and she's married and has a son. And him and his nephew are the best of friends, and they love spending time together. And if you ever get a chance to watch him with his nephew, they are adorable. They're adorable. Like,
I hope he has a kid.
He's going to be the best boy dad ever.
Yes.
Right? He's a really good boy dad. I've not seen him with the girls.
I haven't seen him with the girls.
But I do know a couple of girl dads who are going to be amazing.
Yes.
Boo and Son. And he's their main vocalist and lead dancer, and he actually is probably one of the best dancers in 2PM.
I would agree with that.
He placed first in over 6,000 contestants in JYP's Superstar Survival Show, including other members from 2PM. He beat them out too. He got first.
I'm so done with survival shows.
And so he owns 6 cats. There's all these clips of him in his house and his cats, but he has 6 cats. His first solo was a Japanese mini album, and then he went on to do a lot of other solo projects. He still does solo projects. He had one in 2022. He is credited with 100 songs within the Korean Music Copyright Association.
That's pretty big.
That's pretty impressive. 100 songs.
Yeah.
He has an undergraduate degree from Howon University, and then he received his master's degree in cinematography. Which
makes sense.
Makes sense because the reason I love this boy is he is one of the best K-drama actors I've seen. He's
So
good.
true.
He's amazing. And he has been in a lot of things, a lot of movies.
Oh yeah.
And we've talked about him. So if you want to, we did the whole thing from K-pop to K-drama, and he's in it. But I fell in love with him in King the Land. But he's been
King
in
the
other
Land is
things
great.
that are just as fantastic.
Being as I can see it on the list, the Home Fatale movie was good. However, I thought it was a drama, not a movie. I did not expect it to end, and I did not like that it ended so soon because I wanted more of him,
Yes.
especially in that role.
Yes.
If you haven't seen it,
It's
it is
so
on
fantastic.
Amazon Prime Video.
The boy can act, and he's so beautiful.
Oh my
So
gosh, he is.
And he's very into animal rights. He's a big activist when it comes to animal rights, and he does a lot with nonprofits and things of that nature. He's beautiful. Did I already say that? Like 5 times how beautiful this boy is.
He is. Oof. We enjoy him.
I can't even with that boy.
Can't even with most of these boys.
Chan Sung is our next member. He's Hyung Chan Sung, February 11th, 1990 as well. He's also Korean, but this one's available. He has an older brother. He's available for someone.
He's not my bias.
I know. But I can't say it to Big K because one, she's not here, and two, way too old. He went to the same university as Junho, and he got a master's degree in cinematography as well.
Oh.
So, yeah. Okay, so his position in 2PM is he's their rapper. He's a vocalist. He's their lead rapper, vocalist, and he is their maknae. And he has lots of nicknames, but the one that I thought was the funniest is he's called the old maknae because he actually looks older than his young. And so they call him the old maknae.
Uh-huh.
And he actually practices taekwondo. He's taekwondo, and he's a pretty high level. It didn't reveal, but he's pretty up there. He would rather sleep on the floor than in a bed, which I think is crazy because why would you sleep on the floor? But he does. He prefers to sleep on the floor.
Granted, the floors in most Korean households are heated.
True.
So I can kind of understand that to a slight point, but no bed, please.
Yeah. So he has a bigger build than some of the other members of 2PM, and so lots of people don't believe that he is their maknae. In fact, he's been told lots of times that he's not. He has the most ex-girlfriends. I thought that was so funny. The maknae has the most ex-girlfriends. And when I reveal the last thing about him, it's going to make you laugh because it has to do with that. If he smells food, he wakes right up. He will pop out of bed and run to food. He loves reading. And when he moved into his own apartment, he actually took the sofa from the 2PM apartment they all shared and took it to his new apartment.
The maknae gets to do what they want.
The golden maknae, right? So in December of 2021, he announced that he was getting married to his then fiance, who happened to also be pregnant, and that he was leaving JYP. And that all happened kind of boom, 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 boom. But again, still active with 2PM.
Yay! Let them get married.
Well, I didn't even look that up. I just knew that that was the announcement, so I wonder if that actually came about. I'm hoping that it did. Because they deserve happiness in all its forms.
I agree.
Okay. So those are the members of 2PM. And again, we said this in the beginning, we were going to do this whole thing with the idea that we came into 2PM not for them as a K-pop group, And here's why. I have linked below their debut. They were known for their acrobatics, and you'll see that in their debut song, 10, what was it again? 10 something, anyway.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, I'm not a fan.
They have
And instead of
a
talking about,
discography.
it's okay, right?
But it's just kind of, to me, there's only one song that hits. And you'll never guess what it is. My House. Because of all of the covers.
Yeah,
that
and there's
everybody
so
has
many
done.
covers of My House. And I think this kind of, in my book, and again, this is me. So if you are a diehard hottest, it's fine. Please be. They deserve it. They are amazing.
They're amazing.
But for me, I feel like they're a one-hit wonder. I think they got better over time.
Yes.
I do want to just for a moment look at the idea of what they were when they debuted versus, so they are second gen, and I want to look at what people are doing in fourth gen.
And fifth gen.
And fifth gen now.
Yeah. Very different.
Very different. And granted, there's a good 10, 20 years in there.
Yeah.
However, I feel like if 2 p.m. had tried to debut today the way they debuted then, they wouldn't even make it as trainees.
No.
They're just not.
K-pop has evolved so much, even just in the past 5 years.
Yeah.
But since they debuted, it has evolved so much. And 2 p.m. is fantastic. But I do not feel like they rolled with the punches as well as like Shiny.
Yes,
And
I was going to
such
just say
like that. Like Shiny, they had their own distinct sound, but they just kept
They
evolving
were so adaptable.
with it
They
and
moved
adapting
through it.
And it's kind of like 2 p.m. is hot. They have great acrobatics. They are very attractive men and such, but that's more of what they are known for.
Yeah.
They have great actors. Love all the acting.
And individually,
But-
they are an amazing collection of men.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Like I feel individually they shine, but like as a group it's just kind of like, oh
They were
cool, 2 p.m. Personally.
Yeah.
Please, like,
Again,
if you are our hottest, let us know what we should be looking at. to
I do
help
have to
us
say
evolve
their
as well.
comeback in 2021 was
Oh,
good.
yeah.
I
That was
really
that
liked
one-
that.
Some of their other ones, not as much.
Yeah. So, yeah, I just wanted to kind of touch on that because usually at this point I share something about what they're doing, but they are all in projects currently,
Yes.
either in a movie or something. And then I share my favorite things, and I don't really have favorite things for 2 p.m. other than they are my favorite things.
Yes.
Like,
I would say the one thing that I do know that I've loved a lot is the fact that when Bang Chan of Stray Kids was practicing for his cover, which was just like a dance cover of My House, 2 or 3 of the members of 2 p.m. came in and like went through it with him. And I think that's cool because
I like
there's
the
a
idea.
camaraderie
yeah.
that is in most of the K-pop industry. Not all of it, not everybody gets along all the time, but I do think it's awesome that they were like, oh, hey, you're doing this. Let's just do
Well,
this
and
all
they're
together.
in the same company, and I like that the seniors were helping a junior. It's just, it feels
Yeah.
so kind. Like, I think that's a wrap on 2 p.m.
I would say so.
Yeah.
So,
So, bye from Mama G.
bye from Missy.